Hello, everybody. Joe Bacon Donuts here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Uh, it's been a fucking hot minute. Like my 1 week vacation, where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be gone for a couple days, whatever. It turned into me not recording for like 2 weeks because I came back and immediately got swamped with schoolwork. Like I'm talking a lot. Like I'm at the end of my semester, so all my finals are due, and yeah, it turns out a lot of them the real final stuff is in week 7, and yeah, guess what week it was when I came back from my vacation, and guess which last week of the I worded that really poorly. Guess which day of week 7 of my semester I came home on. That's right, the very last one. So I was very busy, very, very, very busy playing catch up. Somehow managed to do all my stuff. I read a 200-page book and wrote a 7-page report on it in one day. Dog shit report. I'd be surprised if I got like a B minus on it. It was not good. 100%. Like I was just typing to type at that point to hit my word count. Not a good showing. And I'm like, whew. Good thing my Asian history report's done. Time to move on to my Japanese presentation. Good thing, that's not due till week 8. Look at my syllabus again. Due the first day of week 8. Late submissions will not be accepted. Proceeded to work around the clock. And at this point, I'm now back at work, too. So, work all day, come home, work on my assignment, till like 2 in the morning, wake up at 6 in the morning, go to work again, come home again, finish my assignment, record it, and upload it all like, I was within the hour of the cutoff point when no more late submissions would be allowed, so that was fantastic. Good thing nothing ever would come and make my schedule conflicted ever again. I say, looking at my email when I get to work, and notice they've assigned me to go to Green Flag this year, which means I'll be down in Louisiana for like over a week. In like 2 weeks. So that'll be fun. Just can't. I just can't win. I can't win at all. It's awful. It's so fucking hot here. It's like ridiculous. It's in the 80s now. Like when I left to go with my family on our trip, it would get like in the 30s at night. Now it's like, whew, it's 70 at 2 in the morning. A bit of a heat wave. I am dying. I am sitting here in my chair, like in my boxers, with a chorus light, because that's the only cold thing I have in my fridge, because my dad left them here, trying not to die. I turned on my fan to see how it would sound in the recording, because my microphone, I turned on noise suppression on there, and then I went in OBS and turned on noise suppression to, you cut out all my little tips and taps that hopefully you won't hear me, doing. And then it sounded like I was an alien speaking through a fucking microwave. Like, completely illegible. So I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. So now here I am in ball soup with you together on Rokenjima. Let's go. Don't yell at me if I forget some minor things that happened in the past couple episodes, because it has been a long while. Erica had returned to the off to a great start too. Erica had returned to the room that had been given to her on the second floor of the guest house. The next room over was empty. It was very quiet there. Even pressing her ear against the wall wouldn't enable her to listen in on the voices in the cousin's room. Even with hearing power boosted by the detective's authority, it would probably be impossible to make out anything. This room was farthest down the hall, a long ways away from the cousin's room. Yeah, but you're in not their best graces at the moment. They don't want to be fucking near you. Also, yes, the Battler's the A-Master now.
ゲームマスター権限で許された範囲の初期配置の変更です。妥当な処定かと。
まあ その方が私もいいです。あのクソガキどものトランプで遊ぶ黄色い声なんて聞きた。
This whole time, Erica had been sitting at the desk working at something. She was preparing some of those duct tape seals from before. She had asked Kumasawa for the stickiest tape available. She drew a complicated, unforgettable signature on it with a permanent marker, then added slits through it. By sticking this over a place that she wanted to prove had remained closed, she could create a powerful seal equal in strength to the Red Truth. Those menacing seals had cornered Natsuki so thoroughly in the previous game. Also, I can feel it when I'm talking. Yeah, everything's in bloom right now. My allergies are gonna flare up super hard in, like, the next week or two. It definitely gonna have to go see the doc and get, like, the hardcore, like, allergy, like, antihistamine injection. You know, no more popping pills for me. Last year, I looked like a fucking boxer that lost a fight. My face was just swollen. My eyes were itchy and red and runny. I looked like should have been admitted to a hospital.
これ
いかがしましたか？
やられました。バトラめ周到ですね。
Yeah, the tape didn't look the stickiest in the world. Erica shrugged and showed the piece of duct tape she had cut off to Delaner. By sight alone, Delaner could tell what had annoyed Erica. However, as soon as she held the tape, she realized the difference right away.
これではダメです。
ええ、粘着力ほとんど
Oh,
ないです。
it's just like real bad duct tape. I've gotten that before.
これじゃあ赤き真実には至れない。
Like it barely sticks to itself. Even duct tape can be of low quality, and it sometimes gets weaker with age. The tape Kumasawa had found was a bit too weak even for normal use. It wasn't nearly sticky enough to be used as a detective seal.
きれいに剥がすことが可能です。これでは封印を示す証拠にはなり得ません。
バトラもそこまで見下げ果てたほど無能じゃないってことですね。おそらくゲームマスター権限でこの島のすべてのガムテープに干渉したんでしょう。
He's learning. Letting Erica get her hands on duct tape gave her a fatal weapon to use against witches. The previous game had proven this fact. And so, Balor had removed that weapon from the entire mansion.
おそらくガムテープに代わる品もすべて干渉を受けているに違いないです。
Just realized that, they call duct tape gum tape. I suppose it is very sticky and gummy.
ですね。ま、良かったことにしておきます。おかげでこの冷たい雨の中、みっともない姿で外壁を這い回らなくて済みますから。
Erica tossed the duct tape aside and flopped Spread Eagle onto the bed. How ladylike.
事件が起こるのをパイプ吹かして悠然と待つのも探偵のたしなみですし、あんたもどうせ第一の番が発覚するまで出番ないんですから、どこかに姿消して一服でもしてたらどうですか？私の顔なんか見てても疲れるだけでしょうし。
タバコは吸わないです。
You really shouldn't. It's
子
bad for you.
供ですので。
You'll get a stroke and cancer.
そうですか。私は吸いたいです。
I mean, you can.
出演者たちが歌うほどの気分を爽快にさせる効果があるならの話ですが。
Not really.
ご機嫌が
It only,
優れられない
calms them
よ
down
うです
because they have an addiction. And, feeding that addiction, it mellows you out.
そう見えます？
Erica answered lazily, still looking up at the ceiling. That in itself was half an answer. The silence between the two was filled by the sound of the wind and rain. It was so quiet that it was hard not to listen to the ticking of the clock.
エリカ卿、お尋ねしてもよろしいですか？
内
I
容
mean,
に
you
よ
can
りま
ask
す。
whatever you want, getting an answer is a different
多
story.
分ノーですが。一応暇つぶしに聞いてあげます。何です？
Erica was probably bored as well. Or maybe the sound of the rain was making her sentimental. She assented, which was very unlike her.
なぜエリカ卿は魔法を嫌われるのです？
ああ、さっきの下のマリアとのやりとりの件ですか？
Yeah, he made a bit of a scene.
あんなの子供騙しのくだらない手品です。誰だってわかっています。ああまでして幻想を打ち砕く必要があったのですか？
Because odds are Erica has like autism and cannot read a room.
私にはわからないです。
It had been a childish fight. Erica didn't need Delana to tell her that.
自称知的蹂躙者としましては、魔法なんてもので真実をうやむやにすることが許せないわけです。
それを暴くことに優越を感じられているということですか？
Correct.
私には他の感情が感じられます。
他の感情？何です？
優越というよりはもっと何か別の負
Fair.
の感情を感じます。
やっぱりあんたはただの殺人人形です。その目も節穴みたいですね。
Huh?
失礼しました。許してほしいです。
What's a knothole? Like, let's Google that. Because, I'm not familiar with that terminology. Knothole. A hole in a piece of timber where a knot has fallen out. Makes sense. Erica rolled over grumpily, turning her back to Delana. Because of this, Delana could not see her expression. Even so, for some reason, she could guess that this completely unobserved expression was one of pain. Interpreting this to mean that Erica wanted her to go away, Delana gave a bow and made to leave. Then, Erica suddenly spoke. The words came so far out of the blue that Delana doubted her ears, and she had to ask Erica to say it again.
今何とおっしゃいましたか？
あなたのことが好きです。
Okay. It really was out of the blue. Delana wanted to ascertain what Erica really meant, but the latter still had her back turned, and her face was out of sight.
ありがとうございます。
以前は別の子と付き合っていましたが、今は完全に切れています。周りの人たちは僕たちを妬んでありもしないことを言いますが、気にしないでください。
All right, is this like a little parable tale or like, you know, personal experience or?
俺は君に生涯のすべてを捧げる
Or
から
are we doing the
君
hypotheticals?
も俺にすべてを捧げてほしい。二人で一緒に幸せになろう。
Delana avoided asking what she was talking about and stood there in silence. For a while, Erica kept on speaking in that dull and emotionless tone, repeating soppy phrases that might have popped up in some shoujo manga. Then, unexpectedly, she once again followed up with a complete non sequitur.
新しい財布。
Okay.
ん？
Of course, she had no idea what Erica was saying. However, with her back still to Delana, Erica kept on saying disconnected words.
変な猫のキーホルダー。趣味の合わないアロマオイル。演劇の先輩に借りたという趣味違いの音楽テープ。先輩の付き合いで断れなくて、急にバイトが入っちゃって、ダチの電話が長くて
Alright,
な
yeah.
かなか切
You
れな
know,
くて。
relationship unraveling a little. He made too much curry. He started going to theater practice more often. He started folding paper towels differently. Thanks, I've already eaten. He knew more than before about cosmetics. Sorry, I was sleeping. The toilet seat was left down. He spent the night over at his stage friend's place. I mean, the toilet seat one isn't that odd. You know, he's not taking a shit standing up, at least I would hope. Me and my acting friends had a party there. Someone just left it behind. The drain and sink were cleaned out. There were receipts and point cards from places he didn't usually go. The muddy soles are evidence that you went out on Monday when it was raining. It matches the strange symbol on the calendar. None of your theater friends have hair this long, leaving questions. How do you know the plot of a movie you haven't seen yet? Evidence, circumstantial evidence, observation, surveillance, tracking, tailing, information gathering, wiretapping, asking around, questioning. I found plenty of evidence that I loved you. I found plenty of evidence that you loved me. But I can't find any evidence that you haven't been cheating on me. I give it a rest. If you love me, then trust me. If you can't do that, then you don't love me anymore. Hell yeah, let's gaslight. How could I love someone like that? I'll treasure you for all my life, but I want to do well in theater just as much. You said you liked seeing me act, right? So why are you telling me to stop acting now? Why do I have to choose between you and acting? What's wrong with you? I'm seriously tired of this, alright? Look, if all we do is fight when we see each other, I'm just allergies. Maybe we both need some time to cool off, okay? I need to concentrate for my next performance anyway. One of my colleagues, she suddenly told us she won't be able to perform. I need to rewrite the script by tomorrow. I don't have time for this. The cum spleen. Spleen? Stain. You know what? If you really find it that hard to trust me, we're through. Don't bother coming over again. Just go home. I don't love you anymore. Stop crying. God, you're obnoxious. Go kill yourself, you creep. Damn, it's my fucking friends online. Stop shouting, damn it. I've got neighbors. Just get the hell away from me and never come back.
愛がなければ見えない？逆なんですよ。愛なんかあるからありもしないものが見えてしまう。
Okay, sure. That's fucking face. It's nothing more than an illusion. One that no one except you can see, and one that even you can never touch. Without love, humans would never need to see that fiction. Because we can see it, we doubt, we suffer, we cry out loud.
"私は今幸せです。仮とはいえ、真実の魔女になれて、今の私はもう赤くない言葉に苦しめられなくて済むのだから。あんたなら私のエンドゲームどう返しますか？
私ですか？
In what, the last game? Or
あの凡庸な男じゃゲームの相手は務まりませんでしたから、あんたならどう返してくれるかと思いまして。
the liner was suddenly thrust into the position of Erica's opponent in the witch's game she had once challenged that man with. Delaney shared in the fragments of Erica's past, allowing her to grasp the full situation. The board was reproduced in full inside their heads. The situation was one-sided. Erica's side had constructed a blue truth based on countless bits of circumstantial evidence that turned all those man, it's gonna take me a minute to get back in the swing of this. Circumstantial evidence had turned all of those... I'm having a stroke. Had turned all of those into pieces, and was already cornering her opponent. For some time, The lander thought in silence and announced her by the book response. Doesn't help that I'm fucking sweating.
初手、私が浮気している証拠の提出を要求します。
Okay, you're a little
青き真実で反
made
論
up romantic endgame there. All right.
構築に状況証拠物的証拠を84点提出。
青き真実で反論。今も愛し続けている状況証拠物的証拠を6点提出です。
グッド。青と青では相殺ですが、
Mhm.
構築する駒の数が圧倒的ですね。
When both opponents meet with the blue truth, the decision is almost always based on which side has more pieces of evidence, regardless of the actual circumstances. This is especially true in the human world. So, by the standard rules, Erica would win.
一点先取。次なる手は
攻守逆転を狙います。逆にエリカ卿が浮気をしていない証拠の提出を求めます。
パーペチュアルチェック。お互いが同じ質問を無限連鎖する千日手となりますから、禁じ手です。
では証拠なくも現在もエリカ卿を愛していることを率直に表明します。
赤き真実でないから無効です。仮に赤かったとしてもそれステイルメイトです。私に反論する手がなくなりますから。
Yep. Delana remained silent for a while. She responded quietly to Erica's moves, as Erica drew closer and closer to checkmate. The stalemate is a forbidden move in a game of witches, since it means the ruin of the game. However, in chess, it also represents a draw. Because of this, it is a splendid final move that the weaker player can pull off if they are already unable to win outright. In this situation, Erica clearly had the advantage. It was natural that Delana, her opponent, would seek a stalemate to obtain a draw. However, that only works in chess. In the game where witches fought over the truth, it was a forbidden move. So, it was already checkmate from the very beginning. Delana had no way to turn the game around. But that meant that regardless of what the real truth had been, this game would...
他に手は真実を守る魔女狩り大司教。
いえ、デザインです。
Yeah, you presented us with a fucking broken chessboard.
ね。
The wheels ain't turning right. Erica had succeeded in crushing her opponent with the truth she espoused. That her former boyfriend no longer loved her and was cheating on her. Her opponent had no way to argue back. After all, humans are not allowed to use. A splendid game, a splendid finish from a superior position. Regardless of the truth of her opponent, Erica could win. A splendid victory. Delana could only respond with silence, and with that, Erica spoke no more. She was probably done talking and wanted Delana to leave. Delana understood this, but even so, she wanted to tell Erica just one thing before leaving.
見事なゲームです。
探偵は勝利して当然ですから。
あなたはベルンカステル教の駒になる以前から実に見事な青き真実の使い手です。
So you're real good at being petty.
しかし、エリカ教人間に許されるのは青き真実だけです。そして青き真実に反論できるのは赤き真実だけです。そして赤き真実は人間には許されていま
Yes,
せん。
what pitiful little creatures they are.
ならばどうやってあなたのお相手は彼の真実を示せばよかったのですか？
さあ、赤き真実に時に勝るとかいう例の黄金の真実とやらでも持ち出したらどうですか？
ゲームは確かにエリカ教の勝ちです。
But did you really win?
しかし真実の守護者として申し上げます。
なんです？どうせ不愉快なことでしょうから、それを言ったらとっとと消えてください。
はい、確かにこのゲームはエリカ教の勝ちです。
It's a very Pyrrhic
し
victory.
かし私が示したあなたを今も愛している青き真実の証拠6点は未だ否定されていません。あなたさえ人間、それを否定する赤き真実を使えはしないのです。
探偵権限で84点の証拠を赤き真実に後に昇格させました。我が主のお力によって、私は人間にして人間を超えた存在。
No, we're not talking like that right
探
now.
偵にして魔女、真実の魔女フルドエリカです。
Yeah, but what could the human Erica
他
do?
に質問は？
ありません。それでは失礼いたします。
The Leonard bowed and disappeared. After that, all that remained was a single witch of truth laughing off a bitter past, with an equally bitter smile. Erica glanced at the bedside clock and saw that it was almost exactly midnight.
さて、一寝入りさせてもらえますか。いよいよ2日目。
Mm-hmm.
10月
Need your
2
energy
日
for
の
tomorrow.
働きです。今頃どこかで今回の殺人が起こっているんでしょうかね。
I fucking forgot. They're off doing their weird fucking reality TV show right now
今回の犠牲
in the magic dimension.
せいぜいいろいろなダイイングメッセージをよろしくお願い
Goddamn
します。
Zepar and like, oh god, what was the other one's name? It's not Fur. It was like Fulifu or something. Like the emphasis was not on the fur. It was like the furf. Yeah, we really don't need to listen to the clock chime every single time. It goes on
どうして
forever.
母さんに相談しなかったの？あなたの人生を最後まで支えるパートナーの話なのよ。
そうだよ、生涯一緒にいたい女性なんだ。
だからこそ真剣に決めなければいけないんでしょ。
Oh, Sheba.
どうしてそんな軽率に？
Ava and George could be seen beneath the eaves of the guest house. George had revealed his engagement with Shannon. Ava's anger had exploded almost instantly. This had been no more than George had expected, so he had responded with an ice-cold calm.
まさかもう関係を？
I mean, not like that. There's no bread in the oven if that's what you're asking.
子供ができたとか言われて結婚を迫られたんでしょ。
失礼だな。僕は婚前
And
の
George
低
is a
層は
gentleman.
厳しくあるべき主義なんだ。
じゃあどうして婚約なんて？
僕は求めた。彼女は受けた。
Yep. 1 plus 1 equals 2.
それで成
Boom.
立じゃないか。
違うわ。結婚はね、あんたが思ってるような漫画か何かみたいに簡単なものじゃないの。先方のご両親は、両家の交流は。
Does she have any? She came from an orphanage, right?
あんた野良猫じゃないのよ。後ろ宮ジョージなのよ。ひょっとしたらおじい様の後継者に指名されるかもしれないこの時期に、どうしてそんな軽率な？どうして母さんに相談してくれなかったの？
Because you would do this.
今こうして相談してるよ。いや、相談じゃないか。
It just informed you of the facts.
これはただの報告だね。おじい様の後継者に指名されるのは全く期待してないよ。いや、むしろ辞退したいくらいさ。僕は自分の国と城を父さんがそうしたように何もない原野に築き上げたい。
Hell yeah.
あのね、父さんが今日までどれくらいの苦労をしたのか分かってるの？
I don't know, probably real fucking hard.
あんたが真似てできるようなことじゃないの。今日までどれほどの運や偶然に助けられたことか。
そして母さんという良き理解者の伴侶がいたからだよ。さよは僕を支え、より強く生まれ変わらせてくれる人だ。母さんがたくましくなったと褒めてくれた今の僕は 彼女がいなかったらありえない。
All right, making a pretty strong argument.
いいジョージ。とにかくここは一度母さんに任せなさい。
No.
頭を冷やしてよーく考えて。シャノンちゃんだけがあなたに好意を持ってるわけじゃないのよ。お見合いしたあゆみさんだってあなたのことをとても気に入ったそうよ。
初耳だね。
Arranged marriage things are kind of weird. Like, just bad vibes.
あなたも分かってると思ってたのよ。先方のご両親も大変あなたのことを気に入ってるそうよ。
That's what you really care about, huh?
もしあなたに父さんのように一国一城を築きたい夢があるなら、その手伝いができるのはあゆみさんの方でしょ。彼女の気持ちを裏切るの？
裏切るも何も僕はあゆみさんと
Mhm.
特に交流があったわけじゃない。
They just had one meeting from the sounds of it.
その後親たちが勝手に盛り上がってるだけじゃないか。数度無理やり引き合わされたけど僕たちは互いに目さえ合わせちゃう。
あゆみさんは育ちのいい奥ゆかしい女
What is
性
she,
で
a
しょ。
goddamn horse?
男性のジョージに目を合わせるなんて恥ずかしいしぶしつけでできなかっただけよ。あなたが目を見て話してくれなきゃ気持ちが感じられないと言うなら彼女にそう注意するわ。きっとこれからはあなたの目を見て
Does that really
話してく
count
れ
if
る
you're
はず
doing
よ。
that, though?
あゆみさんと結婚させたいのはそれが母さんにとって利するからさ。母さんの縁談には僕の気持ちがわずかほども含まれていない。
ジョージ、
Is this really the time and place for this track?
どうしてそんなことを言うの？母さんがあなたのことを考えないことなんてあった？ないでしょ。親という漢字はどういう字？木の上に立って見ると書いて親なのよ。
Uh-huh.
母さんたちはね、あなたよりはるかに高みから人生の遠くまでを展望してるの。そしてあなたが若さゆえの一時の感情で間違った道へ進もうとしているのが見えているの。だからこうして憎まれることを承知で言ってるのよ。あんたがどうでもいい子だったらこんな喧嘩しないわ。どこの変な女とでも勝手に結婚しな
I
さいっ
mean,
て
you
放
probably
っておいて
think,
るわ
you
よ。
know, you're doing what's best for him, but you know, you're kind of a little self-absorbed, Ava. So, you know, not too much of a stretch for you to be like, oh well, this is what I want, which means it is clearly what he should want too, because I want it, which means it's the best for both of us if it happens, but mainly him. Because I know I would want it, which means it's good.
ジョージ、母さんに全て任せなさい。もうあなたはシャノンちゃんに会わなくていいわ。全部母さんたちで話をつけてあげる。大丈夫よ。シャノンちゃんにも悪いようにはしない。だってジョージに成長のきっかけをくれた人だものね。ちゃんとそれに配慮してあげるから。だからあとはもう母さんたちに任せなさい。
Yeah, we might bump her pay a little.
ジョージ。
She'll make $8 an hour now. Sometime during Ava's rage, tears had started to drip from her eyes. As though those tears had caused him to hesitate, George turned his back and sagged his shoulders. George was, after all, only a child of man. Though he understood that marriage required nothing more than the consent of both people, he could not get over his desire for his parents' acceptance. And so, he was torn between the tears of the mother who had always helped him and the fiancé he had chosen. Or was he?
もういいよね、そろそろ。
Yeah.
今日まで立派に育ててもらって本当に感謝してる。
Time to, leave the nest, whatever that may entail.
こう思って親になったら母さんみたいな親になるよ。子供のために本当に戦える世界で一
Yeah,
番
you
尊
can't,
敬
can't
で
have
きる親
mommy
にね。
dearest making all your decisions for you your entire life.
ジョージ。
With his back still towards her, George threw away his umbrella and slowly stepped out from beneath the eaves into the rain. Then, he slowly turned around. It was, without a doubt, the familiar face of Ava's beloved son. However, he stood there now as his own man. Self-controlled, independent, though enough that the blood connection between them might even be forgotten.
そろそろいい。
Did you really need to throw your umbrella away, though?
何が
Like, I get that it makes, like, for a dramatic moment, but why, though?
小離れしていいんじゃないか母さん。ここからはもう親子の関係はなしで話そうじゃないか。僕はジョージ、君はエヴァ。親だからどうこうというのは抜きにして、
Uh-huh.
互いの立場から本音をぶつけようじゃないか。君が僕を望み通りの相手と結婚させたい理由は経済的事情、世間体、それから
Yes.
未だいさかいのなくならないおじさんたちへの
Look at this big, strong family we have backing us now. Ooh. Better watch out.
いっそそれをすっきり認めてくれた方が潔いね。僕はこれから僕の立場だけで語るから君もそうした方がいいんじゃない。負けるよ君。
George's eyes no longer contained any trace of his love and respect for his mother. It was only a frigid glare as his eyes ruthlessly gazed at, as he gazed ruthlessly down at the witch who was trying to bind his future.
ジョージ
Words
どうして
are hard.
母さんをそんな目で見るの。
今僕は母さんを見て
I
もらいたい
wonder.
さ。
Maybe that should be a question, for you instead of him. Like, oh, geez, why are you looking at me like this? What could be the cause here?
僕の目に映っているのは僕の選び取ろうとする未来の前に立ちふさがる試練の壁だけさ。母さんだって人間だ。夢や野心があってそれを今も追い続けてるのは知ってる。そしてそれを素晴らしいと思う。
Yeah, you know, old people need their hobbies.
自分の夢を決して諦めないことの大変さを僕たちは知っているのだ。
I need to inherit your wonderful strength. I've learned a lot from my parents, my friends, and Sayo, and have grown.
その最後に学び獲得して完成されるのが本当の後宮ジョージという男なんだ。僕は今あなたという最後の壁を越える。何？
Then he threw a mean uppercut. Ava disappeared. The pouring rain landed evenly across the ground everywhere. No, it was blocked very slightly in only one place. However, there was no one there. As I forget how to read words. Standing on the ground isn't the only way to block the path of the rain. Then, who could it be? Ugh. Can you, like, not?
本音をぶつけ合うのもたまにはいいじゃない。私も言っちゃうわ。
だからあなたも言っちゃえば。
In the rain-filled sky, with the moon that shouldn't have been visible behind her, was the Golden Witch of the future who had finally obtained everything of the Ushiramiya family. Even the drastic change in his mother's appearance didn't faze George. On the contrary, he seemed to be moved by her boldness, because his mother had honestly and truly displayed her true nature. Now, I can confidently show her my true self.
行くよ。
Time to henshin? Alright, let's go, George.
そしてエヴァ、これが僕の君の束縛から踏み出る最初の第一歩だ。
第一歩。
I really didn't miss this manner of speech. With that first step, he felt something odd beneath his feet. He knew that this sticky sensation, which didn't quite feel like mud, represented his mother's arrogance trying to prevent him from making that first step.
小さい頃お話をたくさん読んであげたわね。あなたが大好きだった西遊記覚えてる？
懐かしい。
I mean, that's a pretty long story for a kid.
僕が一番最初に愛したフ
Not
ァ
a
ンタ
good
ジー
story though. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, wanted to become a god and was tested by the Buddha. The Buddha told him, "If you can jump free from the palm of my hand, I will grant you your wish." Then, Sun Wukong managed to reach what he thought was the end of the world and found 5 pillars standing there, only to discover that they were the Buddha's fingers and that he still hadn't left the Buddha's hand.
僕が母さんから決別すると宣言した第一歩だ。
Alright, bit abstract, but sure. Let's go with that.
あなたの反抗も葛藤も苦悩も根気もすべて私がすでに通ってきた道。あなたのその第一
So,
歩で
you know,
私という人生に飲
maybe
み込まれ
maybe
る
give
程
him
度。
some motherly advice instead of, you know, trying to get him stuck in the mud.
いつまで目を背けてるの？見ちゃえば足元。
On the pitch black earth soaked by the pouring rain, there was what appeared to be ominously glowing bands of faint red, and George had placed his first step directly on top of one. It was deep and viscous, and it held George's foot in place. From Ava's perspective, as she looked down from the sky, it looked like a vast red spiderweb that radiated out with George at the center.
そうさ、これが僕さ。生まれた時から数々の習い事に縛り付けられ、あんたの野望のためだけに育てられてきた。
いいえ、それは違うわ。なら分かるようにしてあげる。
Yeah, this is a little abstract.
見せて
You
あ
know,
げ
break
る。
it down.
そして悟っちゃえば。
I see you yawning. The vast red spiderweb on the ground scooped up George as easily as scooping scum out of a pot. Then, he lifted him into the air like a deer caught in a net and swung him about. Ava's insane laugh was as innocent as a grade schooler happily swinging about a bag filled with her gym clothes. And cruel in equal measure. Hey, you know, some people pay good money for that bag. Yeah, you should be careful with people gets there, Ava.
さあ、思い出してごらんなさい。火曜日には何があったのか。
No, not Tuesdays. Oh.
覚えてるさ。ピアノ教室だ。
Oh, gross.
今でも猫踏んじゃったを聞くと。
幼稚園の頃はバイオリン教室だったわ。
Oh, violin in kindergarten? Oh, like I know it helps to learn, get a taste for music early. Soak it into your soft child brain so it's there for the rest of your life. But kindergarten? Ugh. I still have like hand problems with my left hand from playing the cello as a kid. Like the tendon in my left pinky. I had and still have relatively small hands. Like I can wear small-sized gloves. Mostly fit a medium, but I can just wear a pair of like women's driving gloves, because they look nice and they're comfy, and they fit my hands fine. But the pinky in my left hand, like if I stick it out and then try to like curl it in, it gets snagged. Like I can feel the tendons like not like getting stuck almost and not able to bend. Like I'm doing it now and looking at it. It's like the top knuckle is like bending in but the rest of it is just like completely straight, and then eventually it just gives and like it all, you know, just curls in at once. And I can crack the knuckle, my left index finger. I can just do this all day, you know. Ooh, thunder outside too. Nice, add to the ambiance here. But yeah, my left hand's fucked from playing the cello.
できる子はやってそうでしょ。あんた才能なさそうだったからね。
I stopped playing it when it just like I took it out of my bag at, you know, class one day and it just exploded. Like the neck broke off, you know, all the bridges just went doing and the strings came off. I'm like, huh.
途中でピアノに変えたけど。
Yep, and then I switched over to the trumpet.
じゃあ水曜日は覚えてる？
覚えてるさ。進学塾の日だよ。
Ugh.
遠くて
Cram schools are so
通う
gross.
のが苦痛だった。
I mean, sure, it's great, you know, in a country with a competitive, like, higher education environment, and, like, you know, the idea of testing for high schools is, you know, mind-boggling to my, you know, American public school mind. Same.
あなた応用はできるのに暗記は苦手な典型的なやればできる子だったわ。
痛烈だね。子供が三者面談で言われて一番イラつく言葉だ。
Mm-hmm.
馬を水場に連れて行くことはできるが、
You know,
水を飲ます
just
ことは
not
で
getting
きない。
it.
イギリスの格言だね。
あなたのやる気を出して維持させるのが一番苦労したわ。
Yeah, my face is just scrunching at that line read, but yeah, it's really easy to lose the motivation when you fucking suck at something. But really, you're gonna need to step it up a notch here, Ava. These are all pretty mundane. George was bound hand and foot by the bright red spiderweb, reduced to the witch's plaything. She would innocently swing him around and smash him about, all with an insane laugh, again and again.
金曜日は覚えてる？
ユニークな塾だね。親と一緒の塾なんていろいろな意味で窮屈だね。
That sounds horrendous.
子に釣り竿を買うな。一緒に釣りに行け。
母さんはイギリスの教育論が好きだね。
親にとっても辛い塾だったわね。でもあれが一
Well,
番
yeah,
あんたには効果
it's
的
probably
だ。
awful.
高いおねっしゃ。毎週金曜の夜を費やさなければならない面倒。
You know, says the one who scheduled the whole thing.
一番効果があった。その時悟ったの。子供はね、親が見ていないと伸びないの。
Great, helicopter parents. Love
親
them.
は太陽だわ。太陽なし。芽吹く草木、咲かせる花も存在しないの。
Still bound hand and foot, George was thrown, slammed, and smashed. He could do nothing. He was still like Sun Wukong, unable to leave the palm of his mother's hand. However, since he wouldn't surrender, he could still somehow show resistance at any time.
じゃあ土曜日は土曜日は
家庭教師が来てくれてたね。
向こうから来てくれるから楽だったでしょ。
聖域である自室に 毎週他人を迎え入れるのは苦痛だったよ。
Yeah, I'm the same way with my like entire house though. I hate having people over. Like my parents are fine. You know, my house is a little cluttered, and you know they give me, you know they poke me at it like, oh, what's this pile of boxes in the corner? It's like it's my recycling. I haven't taken it out in a couple weeks. You know, just sleep through it every time the delivery truck's here, and then you know telling me every little thing. It's like, like good to see you guys too.
先生が帰った後
Can you
に
leave?
残る
Can you
汗の
leave
匂い
yet?
が今でも思い出せるくらいに嫌だったね。
Ugh.
あなたに学習姿勢を叩き込んでくれる素晴らしい先生だったわよ。弁護士の相談費用並みのお
What's
月
your
謝を
teacher
払った
smell
甲
like
斐
that
が
he's leaving a
本
you
当
know
にあった
a like stench cloud behind him after he leaves a room?
そして迎える日曜日と塾の予定がない月曜日だけが僕の安息日だった。これは皮肉だね。火曜日から土曜日までの塾が僕を押さえつけてきたのが、まさに僕は孫悟空だったわけだ。
そうね。私の手のひらから逃れたいなんて思い上がりはお釈迦様にご行山で潰してもらうといいわ。
Sun Wukong, who wanted to become a god, was crushed by the five mountains of fire, water, wood, metal, and earth, and sealed away. These are the five elements that the days of the week, Tuesday through Saturday, are named after in Japanese. Oh yeah, they are, huh? Was that a reference to... Is that a reference to Journey to the West? Only now did George, who had always admired Sun Wukong, recognize this greatest of ironies.
思い上がったあなたよ。孫悟空と同じに少し反
You know, I
省とお仕置き
I
が
did
必要
notice,
だわ。
you know, obviously, you know, reading the kanji for the days of the week, you know, for my Japanese class is like, yeah, you know, I can see the trend here with them, but
あなたが
didn't
感
know
心
there
し
was
たら
any other deeper
私
meaning
が
behind
解
it
放
than
してあ
that.
げる。
それは解放じゃないね。
何も考えなくていいの。ママに全て任せちゃえば。
You know, then George is gonna become one of those people who calls his wife mother.
私があなたの全てを
Like even like, you know, before they have kids, or you know, when their kids are already grown and left, you know, in private.
それがあなたにとって一番素晴らしい人生なのよ。
Don't instill like a fucking Dami mommy fetish in your son. That's weird. It's fine to have one,
世界で一番知的であなたのために
but
全
being
てを
directly
捧げてくれる
influenced by your
女性を
own
用意
mother
して
to
あ
do
げ
it
る。
is.
全ての成功もそれに至る道も全てママが用意してあげるわ。そしてやがては後ろ宮家で最高の名誉である当主の後継者にあなたは指名されるの。
Glad you have it all planned out.
それから初めてあなたは自分の人生を始めなさい。第一歩笑わせないでよ。あんたはね、まだ生まれてさえい
Yeah,
ない
your
の
real
よ。
life doesn't even begin until you've retired.
これがあんたを捉える私の巣じゃないの。
Okay, that was just the wind howling in game. I thought it was one of the sirens in my neighborhood
あん
going
た
off.
を慈しんで育む私の子宮の中なのよ。
We really don't need these analogies, yeah. Shannon to come in and give you a C-section then. George was slammed against the ground over and over. It was it was heartless cruelty, unlike anything one would expect a blood-related son to receive. However, in Ava's eyes, he was a red-headed stepchild. Perhaps even this was a sign of her love for her precious son. The human-shaped lump of flesh ensnared in the red net was slammed over and over, then thrown high into the air, where it was caught by a massive spiderweb suspended in the sky. George hung there pitifully as though crucified, still covered in fresh blood and not even twitching. Even if there had been some power to resist remaining some power to resist remaining to him. The red spider holding the red web holding him there would have held even that in check. Words I can't read. The rain, which had been falling non-stop since the beginning, quietly tormented and pitied him.
ご行山に封じられてしばらく頭を冷やしなさい。シャノンちゃんが悪い子だからやめなさいと言ってるわけじゃないのよ。
Yeah, you just don't like her.
彼女はジョージに青春と成長のきっかけを与えてくれたとても良い子だわ。でも後先を考えない婚約は別の問題よ。相手が彼女だからいけないと言ってるわけじゃないの。それを分かりなさい。
友を責めるな。行為を責めよう。
Alright.
だね、これもイギリスの格言だ。
If you say so. I'm not British, so.
本当にあなたは賢い子に育ったわ。いいえ、育っているわ。私のお腹の中でね。
Really, let's stop with this
もう少し
train of
じっくり
analogies.
と育ちなさい。さあ、お仕置きは終わりよ。
God, were you one of those people who like breastfed George till he was like 4?
母さんに
You know, able to fully form complete sentences, grammatically correct, telling you that he needed the titty. The spiderweb released George reluctantly. Then it threw him to the ground beneath the cloudy sky.
ありがとう、母さん。
It was all George could do to get up on his hands and knees. Though he wiped the mud away and stood his ground, he still couldn't raise his
これ
head.
までの全てが僕を思ってのことだったんだね。ありがとう。本当にありがとう。
そうよ。
Yep. However,
今は憎いでしょ。でもいつかきっと感謝するわ。私がどれほどあなたを愛していたかをきっと理解する。
sure. However, that still doesn't change what needs to be done
火
here.
曜日から土曜日までの連日の塾での縛り付けも僕を立派な男に育てようという母さん。
これもイギリスの格言よ。子供を幸福で包むことが最高の教育。
ありがとう。だから僕からも母さんに
なに？
全ての木に斧を一撃ずつ加えても一本の木も
Uh,
切り倒せやしない。
なに？それはどういう意味？
こっちの方がいいかな。学問に時間を費やしすぎることは怠惰に過ぎない。フランシス・ベーコン。
The man, drenched in mud and fresh blood, straightened his crooked glasses and slowly stood up. Though he was covered in filth, his appearance had a divine quality to it. Something that could only appear on a self-controlled man, not one who had merely been dozing in his mother's I know this word. Amniotic? Amniotic fluid.
僕が
In
さ
the
よから学んだ
placenta.
ことは数えきれない。僕は彼女の前で初めて勇気と男気と向上心とウィットとユーモアと
You know, book studying is great and all, but you know, you still got to go out and like, you know, live your life.
皮肉だね。今日母さんが僕を立派になったと認める要素のほぼ全てが母さんの教育の賜物じゃないんだ。
ジョージ、あんたはまだ
You know, you got to be well
そん
rounded.
なことを戻してあげるわ、母さんの子宮に。そしてもう一度暖かな海で育て直してあげる。
No, thank you. Unbirth is not a tag I like to see. As Ava howled, another bright red spiderweb appeared at George's feet and tried to scoop him up into the air again. However, that instant, a powerful magic circle could be seen in the area surrounding George for just a moment. Faster than he could be scooped up by the spiderweb, George jumped. And with a sharp kick at the heel and a magnificent forward flip, he cut the shackles of that spiderweb apart. That smooth movement proved that he had possessed the power to escape from the shackles all along. He had willingly allowed himself to be bound by that web.
母さんのこれまでの恩を一つずつ
Yeah, he'd let you say your piece.
痛みで相殺させてもらったよ。おかげで僕も親離れがきっちりとできそうだ。必要だね。たまには親子喧嘩も。
Oh, yeah, sure.
ジョージ、私にどうしてそこまで逆らってあんな小娘と。
And it just proves you're, your own individual.
必要なのはやはり母さんの子離れだろう。じゃあそろそろいいかな。
何がよ。
To lose.
そろそろいい。反撃しても。
The curtain of spiderwebs that Ava shot out in defense were all too slow. George weaved through them in that instant, and the next, he was right before her eyes. God, George's suit is so fucking bad. I hate that yellow. I bring it up every time. Not every time, but a lot of the time. It's atrocious. Ava jumped out of the way of a kick that would have knocked her feet out from under her, then blocked the second half of George's double roundhouse with a high kick of her own.
母さんの習い事で一つだけ感謝しているものがあるよ。
それは何曜日のかしら。
長期休暇のために集中的に習わされた武道教室の数々だよ。
Well, those are good. I still remember a lot of this stuff from when I did Kempo. Believe it or not, I had a black belt at one point. I was pretty good at sparring. I would pretty frequently get in like the top 3 in my age bracket in like the state tournaments.
嬉しいわ、ジョージ。たった一つでも感謝してもらえるなんて。母さんは嬉しいわ。
But things get harder as you get older, and you stop growing. And then there's the kids who are like 7 feet tall, and their kick can hit you from a mile away, and you just got no shot of closing the gap to get points, because it's not full contact. It's like boop, you get a point, or you get like what would be a solid hit, and the ref calls it a point, and then it's everyone backs off again. Ava's swift feet flashed like lightning. Low, medium level attack. As George's head fell forward, she caught it in both hands as though she was about to smash it against the ground. It was then met with Ava's knee as it rose like a bolt of lightning from the earth.
ムエタイも習えばよかったのに。ジョージも一緒に習えばもっと楽しかったわ。
そうだね。母さんと一緒に武道を学ぶときに
Because you can hit your mom.
今が一番楽しいんじゃない？楽しいね、ジョージ。楽しいね。
Yeah, they're really going at it, huh?
楽しいかい母さん、息子と遊ぶのは。
楽しいわ。あなたは私の最愛の息子。
Yeah, well,
私のお腹の中で優しく
Again, please
優しく
stop.
愛してあげるわ。あなたがお腹を蹴るのさ、愛おしい。
了解だ。
my face just scrunched again.
だがその蹴りはお腹の外からになるけどね。
George buried his knee sharply into Ava's abdomen. An instant before she felt the pain of that fierce attack, Ava watched her son's kick with a proud smile, and then she vomited.
母さんももう年なんだからいい加
Yeah,
減
you need to
そ
work
う
on
い
your
う
abs.
若い子向きの服は
Oh, don't want to get
自重
flabby.
した方がいいんじゃない。
ジョージ。
Her chin still covered in vomit, Ava looked up at George in then twisted anguish. She could see how pathetic her face was by her reflection in his glasses. Man, it's like me enduring my fucking PT test every year. I end up with vomit down my shirt. I'm like, whoa! Fucking limp across the finish line and die. The violent lightning and rain made time freeze. George's beautiful kick had stopped an inch from Ava's chest. However, the power of the red magic circle surrounding George had already pierced Ava's body. Though he had stopped without hitting her, blood poured out of Ava's back. No wound had been left on her chest, but the heart inside it had been struck through. Ava slumped backwards and landed in the puddle with a splash. There were no convulsions. Her life had been ended without leaving her an instant to writhe about in pain.
その辺にいるんじゃないか。ガープ。
As he straightened his glasses, George spoke to the rose thicket behind him. Then, a pitch-black hole opened in the air there, and Gap jumped out.
大したもんね。あのエヴァ・ベアトリーチェを継承前とはいえ打ち倒すなんて。
やはり痛かい。余計なちょっかいを出さなくてありがとう。
Oh, you're putting on a good show. No need to.
親子水入らずで過ごせたよ。
まさか。
Now, there's already enough weird women in George's life. Don't add
い
to
な
it.
かったわよ。今、あなたが私を召喚したんだわ。
どっちでもいいさ。君にお願いが。
Yeah, you mind disposing of this body?
聞く義理はあるの？
聞いてくれないのかい？
Please. With his back still facing her, George reset his glasses. The threat in his voice held the solemn presence of a king who ruled over demons. His majesty made Gap gulp, and she licked her lips before bowing respectively to his back.
私はイケてる男が好きだけど、王女はもっと好きだわ。何なりとお命じを、魔王陛下。
後宮家の当主に憧れ、その夢と妄執に生きた彼女の亡骸をふさわしい場所に安置してほしい。
じゃあ、金蔵の書斎へ？
いや、貴賓室がいいな。屋敷の2階
Oh, alright.
あの開かずの貴賓室。
あの部屋ね。
Go over to Beatrice's secondary
了
pad.
解したわ。ジョージ。
Gap approached Ava's corpse and lightly tapped the ground with her right heel. When she did, a large hole opened up, swallowed both Gap and the corpse, and closed. After a while, a small hole opened in the air, and the staff Ava always carried, which was marked with the one-winged eagle that symbolized the head of the Ushamiya family, was spat out into a puddle. Ooh, nice, rare drop. Because the corpse could no longer have any use for it. Wood. Not could. Wood. George slowly approached that staff, and stepped down hard on the tip. Ooh, right as he did that, my floor shook because of the lightning outside. I even hear it a little bit when I talk, so that way, you know, the noise suppression of my mic is down. Man, it's rumbling good. When he did, the staff spun violently into the air, and after passing by the blue moon, which honored the Demon King, it flew into George's outstretched hand. Does the staff have, like, a shape that allows you to do that? You can't just step on a flat thing like that and have it fly up into the air, you know? I can do it with my golf club, you know, one of my pitching wedges, you know, when I'm standing on the green and I'm putting, and then I'm walking back to the cart. I can step on the head, and because it's angled, you know, I can get the handle, just fly up, and I can grab it and keep walking. But, you know, that staff is, it's flat. It was lying on the ground flat. You can't do that, George. That is physically impossible. Another fierce bolt of lightning struck nearby, and by the time the flash faded, the staff he was holding had become a spray of gold butterflies and disappeared. It was as though George had held the staff up to the heavens and crushed it out of existence.
僕はノルマクリアだ。次の人に番を譲るよ。
自分の母さんを手にかけるなんて。
She was being a bitch.
自分を世界で一番最初に愛してくれる人
You
だ
know,
ね。
he was playing Mafia 2 when she was telling him to go take a shit,
一番最後に
so he killed her.
決別すべき人だ。それが家を出るという、これが僕が作用をめとるために見せられる勇気だ。
ジョージ様。
あっぱれなり後
Oh,
ろ宮
yeah,
ジ
hey
ョー
Beatrice,
ジ。
you're here too.
まずは見事であるぞ。
たとえゲーム上のこととはいえ、駒のこととはいえ、自分の母親を殺すのは
I mean,
愉快な
well,
こと。
yeah, obviously, but
しかし、それが君たちの課す試練だと言うから、僕
man's
は
gotta do
答
what
え
a man's gotta do. He stared at the two demons. The demons looked at each other and showed their surprise with their now familiar, exaggerated gestures.
素晴らしいわ。なんて見事なのかしら、ゼタル。
そうだね、フルフル。
I did remember the names. I'm
ジ
so
ョージ
fucking
君の
smart.
決意は本物だ。どうやら僕は君を見誤っていたようだね。謝るよ。許してほしい。
George chose not to go along with this almost theatrical conversation. He just quietly looked down upon the game board, found the piece that represented his mother, which was right next to his, and tipped it over. Ice cold. This was the trial that Zepar and Frulifur had set him. For the love of each other, take the life of another. It was similar to a game within Beato's fourth game, where they were each given 3 options as part of a test to select the next family head. However, a pair of lovers would never abandon each other's lives. So, they were automatically left with just the option of sacrificing the life of another instead. In fact, it was merciful that the demons hadn't ordered them to take the lives of everyone other than themselves. And besides, it only meant taking those lives as pieces on the board. Yeah, you know, it helps you compartmentalize it. For the versions of themselves to whom the game board was the only world, this was a tragic parricide. Okay, yeah, I guess parricide would be murder of a parent. You know, what's it, father? Pottercide. It's not mater. It's also a T. So, Matercide, I guess? I don't know. But, you know, we're keeping it generally. But for these ones who sat around the game board in the witch's tea room, it was nothing more than a movement of the pieces, representing George's will to overcome his parents. However, even if it was just a single life within one of an infinite number of fragment worlds, the fact remained that the demons had forced him to take it. George appeared to have distanced himself from the events on the demon's game board, but Jessica still seemed to resist the idea of stealing another person's life, even if it was only their life as a game piece. Yeah, just don't think of them as people. It makes it a lot easier.
バトラさ
You're
んの
not
望む
really
ベアトリーチェ
killing
は
someone.
こんな
They're
こ
not,
と
they're
で
not
は
people,
臆したりし
people.
ません。
さあ、次は誰が試練に挑戦を？誰でもいい。次なる犠牲者を選び出してほしい。
誰でもいい。次なる挑戦者は名乗り出てほしい。
誰も名乗り出ないなら、
僕の
Rock,
勝
paper,
ち。
scissors?
そうなるわ。ならばおめでとう。後ろ宮ジョージ。
あなたとあなたの愛する人の恋の成就へ至る扉の鍵を。
Objection!
僕たちは今こそ授けん。
待てよ。
As the demons delightedly named George as the victor, they were interrupted by the next challenge.
確かさあ、次は私だぜ。
You got the guts?
いいぜ。やっ
I
て
mean,
や
you
ろ
were you were fine with killing. I told you it's been a while. Give me a sec. I can think. Runaway. There we go. All I could remember was Sugita. I'm like, no, his name's not Sugita. You cannot kill his voice actor. You know, you were fine throwing fisticuffs with him, but you know, a normal, you know, quote unquote normal person.
私だってカノン君のこと
I don't think
ほん
there's
ま
any
に考
normal
えて
people
る
in
わけ
this
じゃ
thing,
ねえってこ
but
と
you know what I meant.
見せてやら。
And with that, that's where we're going to end it here for today. I know, a little bit of a shorter one, you know, for the first one back. How disappointing. But I'm dying. Like, I'm going to fucking die. I'm so sweaty. I'm so gross. I just... I, I don't want to record right now. I just want to take a shower, if I'm being real. So with that, as we're ending here for today, once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you guys all next time for the next episode of Umineko, where hopefully by then I'll have my window AC unit installed. And that, I remember from at least last year, if I have that on low, it doesn't pick up on the microphone very much. And that's able to cool the room down pretty good. I think I'm gonna, you know, maybe tomorrow. You know, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. That'll be a good time to do it after work. Run to like Walmart or whatever and get like a really long curtain rod and some curtains, some drapes to cover up the entrance to my sunroom. So that way I'm able to block it off and keep all the cold air in here when I'm recording. So that way, you know, even before I record, I can run it on high and just turn it into an ice box in here, and then just turn it off so that way I don't have it rumbling in the background, feeling like my windows are gonna fall out of the frames because it's shaking them so hard. But yeah, catch you guys later.